Tom Cruise, born July 3, 1962, ruled Hollywood as Ethan Hunt in Mission Impossible, but fractured marriages and the shadow of Scientology left him isolated. At 63, with $600 million, he runs faster than ever, as if outrunning his own emptiness. Sammo Hung, born January 7, 1952, shaped Hong Kong cinema with his martial arts brilliance, yet health issues and career decline weighed on him. At 73, worth $30 million, he fights quietly against time and regret. Peter Weller, born June 24, 1947, became a sci-fi icon in RoboCop, but typecasting and a fading spotlight pushed him into academia. At 78, with $8 million, he reflects on fame like a distant dream. Chow Yun-fat, born May 18, 1955, was the face of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, but personal loss and his modest lifestyle set him apart from the glittering industry. At 70, worth $200 million, he gives most of it away, finding peace in simplicity. Jackie Chan, born April 7, 1954, built a legacy with death-defying stunts, yet scandals and estranged family strained his image. At 71, with $400 million, he hides his pain behind the smile of a clown who never stopped performing. Harvey Keitel, born May 13, 1939, burned with intensity in Reservoir Dogs, but bankruptcies and broken marriages scarred his off-screen life. At 86, worth $50 million, he remains a man wrestling with demons long after the camera stopped. Martin Sheen, born August 3, 1940, ascended in Apocalypse Now, yet heart attacks and his son's spirals into addiction tormented him. At 85, with $60 million, he lives quietly, carrying the weight of survival and guilt. Elliot Gould, born August 29, 1938, reigned in MASH*, but infidelity and Hollywood blacklisting exiled him. At 86, worth $20 million, he drifts through life like a man exiled from his own golden era. Henry Winkler, born October 30, 1945, was America's Fonz in Happy Days, but dyslexia and typecasting haunted him for decades. At 79, with $40 million, his warm smile hides old scars of rejection. Glenn Close, born March 19, 1947, terrified in Fatal Attraction, yet endured divorces and loneliness behind awards. At 78, her $50 million fortune feels hollow against nights spent alone with memories. Catherine Bach, born March 1, 1954, turned heads in The Dukes of Hazzard, but widowhood and fading fame broke her spirit. At 71, worth $10 million, she clings to the past like a fragile photograph. Goldie Hawn, born November 21, 1945, lit up Private Benjamin with laughter, but fame brought betrayals and the ache of aging in Hollywood's cruel light. At 79, her $90 million wealth cannot buy back youth. Pamela Anderson, born July 1, 1967, became a global fantasy in Baywatch, yet abusive marriages and leaked scandals shattered her peace. At 58, with $20 million, she lives quietly, far from the waves that once carried her fame. Patrick Duffy, born March 17, 1949, was America's sweetheart in Dallas, but his wife's sudden death left him adrift in grief. At 76, worth $30 million, he walks softly through a world that feels half empty. Bernadette Peters, born February 28, 1948, dazzled Broadway, but a lonely marriage and widowhood shadowed her later years. At 77, her $40 million can't erase the silence that follows the applause. Paul Hogan, born October 8, 1939, made us laugh in Crocodile Dundee, but divorces and tax scandals dragged him into despair. At 85, worth $20 million, he reflects on a life where the outback feels very far away. Esai Morales, born October 1, 1962, impressed in La Bamba, but typecasting and career stalls tested his spirit. At 62, with $4 million, he carries quiet dignity beneath the weight of near misses. Cheryl Ladd, born July 12, 1951, glowed in Charlie's Angels, but fame faded and loss stole her light. At 74, her $12 million fortune feels like a fragile relic of a golden past. Kathleen Turner, born June 19, 1954, smoldered in body heat, yet rheumatoid arthritis stole her voice and beauty too soon. At 71, worth $20 million, she lives in pain but not in defeat. Bruce Willis, born March 19, 1955, became an icon as John McClane in Die Hard, only to face dementia's slow cruelty. At 70, with $250 million, he fades from the action hero we once knew. Matt Dillon, born February 18, 1964, rose fast in Drugstore Cowboy, then struggled to hold it all together. At 61, worth $40 million, he drifts through Hollywood's shadowlands. Michael J. Fox, born June 9, 1961, enchanted in Back to the Future, but Parkinson's stole decades from him. At 64, his $65 million fortune sits beside unmatched courage. Emilio Estevez, born May 12, 1962, led the Breakfast Club, but faded from fame while his peers soared. At 63, worth $18 million, he chose privacy but lives with quiet what-ifs. James Caan, born March 26, 1940, died July 6, 2022, roared in The Godfather, yet cocaine and regrets trailed him. Gone at 82, leaving $20 million and a bittersweet legacy. Tom Hanks, born July 9, 1956, Hollywood's everyman faced betrayals and health scares. At 69, $400 million masks his quiet sorrow. Andy Garcia, born April 12, 1956, passion carried him to The Godfather 3, yet family tragedies darkened his light. At 69, $20 million survives. Christopher Lambert, born March 29, 1957, Highlander's immortal hero faced blindness and addiction. At 68, with $5 million, his battles continue. Jude Law, born December 29, 1972, scandals destroyed his golden boy image. At 52, $75 million doesn't heal a tarnished heart. Billy Zane, born February 24, 1966, Titanic fame sank with typecasting and lost love. At 59, his $20 million feels like a lifeboat adrift. Keanu Reeves, born September 2, 1964, beloved yet scarred by death and grief. At 60, with $400 million, kindness became his shield. Leonardo DiCaprio, born November 11, 1974, Oscar glory couldn't fill emotional voids. At 50, $300 million comforts restless nights. Matthew McConaughey, born November 4, 1969, he reinvented himself but fame's cost was family strain. At 55, $160 million remains. Denzel Washington, born December 28, 1954, strength hid fears of irrelevance. At 70, $280 million keeps him steady, but doubts persist. Charlie Sheen, born September 3, 1965, he lost it all to addiction and scandal. At 59, $10 million is all that's left of a fallen king.